A DOT employee wearing a face covering and safety vest stands in front of PS 133 on a street closed to traffic to show a demonstration of an outdoor learning streets location set up with furniture.
Hi, I'm Will with the New York City Department of Transportation here in Brooklyn outside of PS 133 to discuss the outdoor learning streets setup that we have here. Outdoor Learning is a program launched by New York City to provide students with outdoor space for learning in play yards, parks, and streets. We're discussing outdoor learning in streets, and if you're interested in taking part in the outdoor learning program, please visit the DOE Info Hub. DOE, DOT, and other sister agencies will review your application and get back to you within a week. Now, once an application is approved for an outdoor learning street, there are a few rules that need to be followed. First of all, outdoor learning streets are permitted for Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Schools can opt to use the street for more limited hours, such as 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., but they cannot exceed this time window. All equipment and barricades can't be on the street before 7 a.m. and they need to be removed and stored on school property by 4 p.m. And finally, all locations are permitted until November 30th. All street locations that are approved require barricades at both ends of the block. Barricades need to span the entire roadway, except for a 5-foot gap to allow bicycle access.
The camera pans to show that the street is closed to traffic with 2 wooden police barricades set up between the intersection and the crosswalk to stop drivers from entering the closed street. A 5-foot gap between the barricade and the sidewalk allows space for cyclists to pass.
In addition, it's key that the barricades do not block the crosswalk. While most of the activity is happening in the streets, schools are still allowed to put equipment on the sidewalk, and as long as 8 feet of clearance for pedestrians is maintained, as you can see here.
The DOT employee walks along the roadway close to traffic, passing by a table and chairs set up under a tent positioned along the curb where parking has been cleared.
Outdoor learning streets also require a lot of staffing. School staff members need to be present at the barricades at both ends of the block throughout the day. This is to ensure that unauthorized vehicles don't enter and to manage the barricades, make sure that vehicles don't enter and endanger students. The only vehicles that are allowed onto the block are emergency vehicles, accessorized vehicles, and any vehicles that need to access a private driveway on the block. If one of these vehicles needs to enter, school staff members will carefully remove one of the barricades and then replace it after the vehicle is passed. When that vehicle is entering, school staff need to alert students so that they can safely move out of the way. It's helpful to have a whistle for this as well. And finally, a school staff member is needed to escort the vehicle down the block. And if there are any vehicles already on the block, parked along the curb or in the driveway that need to exit, a school staff member is needed to essentially walk them down the street until they are off the block. No one should be driving onto the outdoor learning street in order to access parking on the curb, however. Every time a vehicle passes, it disrupts class and things need to pause, so it's really critical to minimize these disruptions, minimize the number of vehicles on the block. And finally, just to minimize potential conflicts between vehicles and students, school buses and family vehicles are not permitted to enter the outdoor learning streets. So once a street is permitted for outdoor learning, there are 2 types of setups allowed. One with furniture like tents and tables and chairs, you can see behind me. The other without furniture. This doesn't have any tents, tables, or chairs, and only...
A photo showing an example of a street closed to traffic by wooden police barricades with parking maintained on both sides of the street, where adults are with children using small items for outdoor exercise. A white check mark is displayed on top of the photo.
Really easy, light, small, easy to move items on the street. Perhaps hula hoops for gym class or things of the like. The vehicles are parked on both sides of the street, and then a school sets up tables or chairs.
A photo showing a street closed to traffic where young students sit on furniture such as chairs and stools while they work on laptops. The students are spaced 6 feet apart and set up across the entire width of the closed roadway. Cars and school buses are parked along the closed street. A red X is displayed on top of the photo.
An FDNY vehicle responding to an emergency isn't going to be able to get through.
A photo showing an outdoor learning street setup with furniture, including tables, chairs, and tents, set up along the curb when a street is closed to traffic by police barricades staffed by an employee. No vehicles are parked on either side of the street. Text overlay on the photo reads, 15-foot fire lane, and has arrows to show the clear space between the far curb and the furniture.
FDNY requires that there's a 15-foot clear fire lane on every street to quickly respond to emergencies. I'm here at a setup for a demonstration that includes furniture, tents, tables, and chairs together, groups of chairs. And in order to make but you can see that we still have a 15-foot clear fire lane. In order to make this work, parking is banned on one side of the street. So DOT is distributing a copy of this no standing Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. signage for schools to post on existing signposts in advance of their program starting. This will help clear out the parking in order to make that room for furniture to be present while maintaining the 15-foot fire lane.
A photo of an authorized teacher parking sign appears to the right of the DOT employee.
Teacher parking is allowed on the school side of the block, but only in spaces that are signed for authorized teacher parking. If authorized teacher parking isn't present, teacher parking is not allowed on the outdoor learning street. Now at a setup without furniture, at a no furniture setup, there will be no tables, tents, chairs, and other large equipment present. And if an emergency vehicle needs to access the street, students will be able to quickly move out of the way so that it can pass. This wouldn't be possible if tents and chairs were set up, but all the other rules about barricades and staffing still apply. If you have any questions about the Outdoor Learning Streets program, please visit nyc.gov/outdoorlearning-streets.
NYC DOT logo, nyc.gov/outdoorlearning-streets, copyright NYC DOT 2020.